Today I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about the SUMIF function in Excel. So in my spreadsheet here, I've got a list of items, their color, and then the price that I sold them at. Now for a list like this, of course we can go in and we can use the sum function to get a total of every single item that we sold. But we want to get more specific than that, so we're going to use the SUMIF function. The SUMIF function is best used if you have an array of data with a column that you want totaled and then a criteria specifying what kind of data it is. So in my example here, you can see that we sold a couple of different item types. We sold shirts, pants, coats, socks, and all sorts of things. And let's just say that we wanted to get the total of just the number of pants that we sold. The SUMIF function is a perfect situation that would allow us to get this data. So I'm going to label my column here just to keep this easy to follow, pants sales, and then we're going to start our function. To do this, we're going to start with the equal sign and then type SUMIF and open the parentheses. And we only need to specify three different things. The first is the range. And what that range refers to is the area where it's going to find the descriptor. So in this example here, the descriptor is the type of item that I sold. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the A up top to highlight the entire A column. Once that's highlighted, you can go ahead and click comma. And the next thing that Excel asks for is the criteria. And this is Excel pretty much saying, okay, you told me where to look, but what am I looking for now? So in this example, we want it to look for pants. And since that's a text type of data, I'm going to put it in quotations. I'm going to go quotes, pants, end quotes, and then type comma again. And the third and final bit of data that the SUMIF function needs is the sum range. So it's saying, okay, I know where to look. I know what I'm looking for. What do you want me to add if I find that? And in this example, that's going to be the price, of course. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click on column C. Once I have column C highlighted, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the parentheses and I'm going to click enter. And you can see that Excel took the total of just the pants sold. Of course, the same thing can be replicated many different times for many different things. I can find the total for coats by writing a function that's exactly the same. All I need to do is go in and switch pants to coat. I'm going to click enter, and you can see now the total again has appeared for just the number of coats that were sold. Now this is really useful, but we can take it a step further actually with the SUMIFs function. The first step when performing this function is critical. You need to make sure that you like the video that you're watching right now and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Now we know before the SUMIF function allowed us to distinguish by column A, right? What type of item was sold. The SUMIFs function allows you to take that one step further and have multiple different columns that you've got distinguishing criteria within. What I mean by that is we can go in and take it a step further and I can say, well, let's figure out how many blue shirts I sold instead of just shirts in general. So let's type blue shirts just to make sure that this is organized. And I'm going to go ahead and start the function again by typing equals SUMIFs with an open parentheses. And luckily for us, this is going to start to look pretty familiar. The first thing is the sum range. So in this instance, we start actually by highlighting the price here, column C, and then it starts with criteria range 1. So in this example, well, let's work on the item description first. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight column A because that's the range that that first distinguishing characteristic is going to be found in. I'm going to type comma, and it switches me over to criteria 1, which is the corresponding criteria for, of course, range number 1. So in this instance, I want Excel to look for the word shirt within the area that I just highlighted. Now, when I click comma, you can see this is where we start to get more options. It's the exact same thing as before, but it's moved on to number 2. So this says criteria range 2. Well, criteria range number 2 is going to be the color, and I'm going to look for the color in column B. So I'm just going to click on the B up top here. I'm going to type a comma, and I'm going to tell Excel to look for the color blue. And again, since I wrote that as a text type of data, I just need to put it within quotations. Now I mentioned obviously 2 different criteria you can do, but if you look here, you can continue to go on and on and on with multiple criteria as far as you need. But in our example, let's keep it simple with 2. And once we're done, we can just close the parentheses and click enter. And you can see now Excel is taking the total number of blue shirts sold, which is $160. I hope that you found this video helpful. Again, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're looking for more math tricks in Excel, make sure to check out the video here. I cover a lot of different topics in a short period of time, so you're going to learn a lot. Thanks again.